Hey, welcome. In the high-stakes world of recruitment, every single detail matters. So today, let's dive into one of the most powerful and honestly, most overlooked tools you have for making that perfect hire. So think about it for a second. That last interview you conducted, beyond all the polished, well-rehearsed answers, do you really know how to spot those tiny little cues that tell you who that candidate truly is? And can you say with 100% confidence that you can tell when someone is being truly authentic? Or figure out if they're genuinely going to be the right cultural fit for your team? It's tough, right? So, are you ready to make your hiring decisions sharper, more accurate, and just way more reliable? Let's explore how digging into nonverbal cues can get you there. Because here's the absolute truth of it all. Words only tell part of the story. What a candidate says is important, of course, but what their body is communicating, that can be even more revealing.
So how do we get the full picture? Well, we have to look beyond the words, beyond the resume, and start unlocking those deeper insights.
And we're talking about body language. But this isn't just about, whether someone's arms are crossed. It's the whole symphony of nonverbal cues. Their posture, their gestures, their facial expressions, all of it. This is what can really broadcast a candidate's confidence, their honesty, and ultimately, how suitable they are for the role. It's like the hidden language of every interview. And this is exactly where developing a very specific skill set comes into play. When you become fluent in this nonverbal language, you're suddenly equipped to read all these cues effectively, right from the first handshake to the final negotiation. Okay, so what does this actually look like in practice? Let's break down what you'll really get a grip on to become a pro at this.
First, it all starts with setting the stage. A comfortable candidate is a more open and honest candidate. Simple as that. Then, it's about sharpening your own observation skills, learning to catch those tiny shifts in expression or a change in posture. Next, you learn to actually read the language, spotting those moments when what they're saying and what their body is doing just don't line up. And finally, you bring it all together, turning all that theory into a practical skill you can use in every single interview.
And the result of mastering all this? It's a game changer for your hiring process. You'll go from just listening to answers to truly assessing a candidate's confidence and cultural fit with so much more accuracy. And look, this doesn't replace what you're already doing, it supercharges it. It just leads to hiring decisions that aren't just good on paper, but are actually great for your entire organization.
But how do you actually learn these skills in a way that sticks? The key, and I can't stress this enough, is practical, hands-on training. Let's be real, this is not something you're going to master just by reading a book. Effective learning means getting your hands dirty. It means engaging in role-playing, analyzing real-world case studies, and hashing out what you see with your peers. It is all about doing, not just listening. So who is this for? Honestly, pretty much anyone who sits in that interview chair. Whether you're a hiring manager, a dedicated recruiter, or really any professional involved in bringing in new talent, this knowledge is going to give you a serious edge. Because at the end of the day, all of this leads to one single critical outcome: making the right hire. It's about shifting from that feeling of uncertainty to a place of complete confidence in your decisions. Just think about it as the old way versus the new way. The old way means relying only on words, guessing on cultural fit, and risking those really costly hiring mistakes. The new way, it's about gaining deeper insights, accurately assessing if someone fits, and making decisions that are both confident and correct.
It all boils down to this. When you can assess candidates more accurately, you naturally, almost automatically, avoid those hiring mistakes that can drain a team's morale and productivity for months, sometimes even years.
So I'll leave you with one final question to think about. Take a hard look at your recruitment process, at the interviews you run, and ask yourself, are they really revealing the whole story? If there's even a little bit of doubt, then maybe it's time to learn the language that never, ever lies.